we'll just, yeah.
Commission will now take up a matter to do with a public amusement application for concert, Thomas McKay, Mill City Management, Inc., at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium for Friday, July 9th, 2010, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. This is Prime Shows, who is the promoter.
Introduce yourself for the record, please.
Carlene McDonald.
Okay, what's Prime Shows?
It's a concert.
Rock concert?
It's an Indian concert.
An Indian concert? Oh, okay. Like American Indians or?
No, from India.
Indian, okay. So it's nothing, no wild and crazy,
No.
okay. All right.
I'll make
Anybody?
a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Commission will now take up matters to do with sidewalk stand applications for 2010. Dharma Buns LLC, doing business as Dharma Buns Sandwich Company. John Caprioli is the manager for the Folk Festival weekend at the location in front of 26A Market Street. Jack Silver of Health and Lifestyle Center for Lowell Folk Festival 2010 at 133 Merrimack Street. And Mark Cordere, doing business as Mark's Running and Fitness, 118 Merrimack Street.
Mark here?
Anyone representing Mark?
Okay.
Okay.
Introduce yourself for the record, gentlemen.
Hi, my name's Rick Wallace. I'm representing Jack Silva.
Okay.
Hi, I'm John Caprioli from Dharma Buns.
Okay. All right, I presume that you have your insurance and your papers on file with the city?
Yes.
You understand the only thing you can sell on a sidewalk stand is items that you normally sell in the store, okay? Do you understand that? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, we're actually asking for permission to put our table out on the street.
On the street?
All right, Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, the gentleman, that's a matter, and particularly in the Folk Festival weekend, Downtown Coordinator Chris Samaras in the Lowell Police Department, I'm not sure who the commanding officer will be for that weekend. Anything of that nature going outside of the frontage of the sidewalk, that would be their call. The License Commission can only, in keeping with the ordinance itself, would only allow you to be on the part of that sidewalk which is adjacent, front, where your front door is, if you will. That frontage would be where you could put your table. To go beyond that, particularly at the Folk Festival weekend, that's something that will have to be discussed with the police department if they will permit that. But the license itself and for the nature of the application, it would strictly be for the sidewalk area.
Okay, so we bring this request to the police department.
Well, if I know they're making allowances for the downtown restaurants who are being able to utilize part of the public way, the Merrimack Street in particular, and Middle Street and Palmer Street areas, only when those streets are being closed to motor vehicle traffic. And there has been a precedent on that matter, and something the License Commission has addressed with applications for one-day alcohol licenses as well as amplification permits, solely for the purpose of making sure that anyone in those places drinking alcohol would not be in violation of the city ordinance prohibiting public drinking. So for the commission to be able to address that issue you're asking, I don't think they'll be in the position to do so unless the public way is closed to traffic, and then maybe the police could say, okay, we'll let you go there for a short period or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, we can grant you a license, just so you thoroughly understand. If we grant you this license allows you to set up a table on the sidewalk, leaving a minimum of 4 feet in front for people to be able to pass by, said somebody in a wheelchair or a walker or something like this. Outside of moving the table would solely be up to the folk festival people and the police. We would have no right to say you can go, because there are streets that will be closed at certain times but that doesn't mean you have the right to go out. You'd have to check that with the people to be. We're trying to, cooperate with everyone to give you an opportunity to, have you attended any of the meetings for the folk festival or anything?
No, I'm not sure if Jack has. He just called me at the last minute to come represent him here
Okay.
today.
Is this the other gentleman?
Mark Kader,
Mark Adair?
come on up.
You come up, introduce yourself, sir. At the lectern,
I'm sorry again?
your name,
Mark Kader, Mark's Running and Fitness.
all right? You understand as far as the outside stand is concerned, you can only sell the items that you sell in the store.
Correct.
You can't bring in items that somebody, okay?
Yep.
And this gentleman was just asking about being able to set his table up in the street. We're giving you
He's actually here for a seasonal license.
permit, right, but he's gonna be on the sidewalk.
Right.
This gentleman wants to go to the street, which is, like I say, if we grant him a permit, then he'd have to take that permit and go to the police department or the people at the folk festival. One thing that we do say is that while your stand is up, you should have the permit posted. Whether it be on the window behind you or, somewhere where it's posted, the police or the people from the folk festival shouldn't have to ask you, do you have a permit for selling this stuff? It's their call. They built this up over the years. It's a tremendous asset to the community, and we want to keep it going, okay? Do you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor, say yes.
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 Good
Okay?
luck, guys.
Good luck.
And they have very good sandwiches, by the way,
Where is he?
at Dharma Buns.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to know, who makes your roast beef? Yeah. That's good.
He's walking testimonial.
I'm just saying,
Next on the agenda.
Commission will now take up application for special one-day license for malt beverages and wine only. Jeffrey Hernandez of Olay Restaurant for Lowell Folk Festival weekend and closed outdoor area adjacent to 76 Merrimack Street for Friday, July 23rd, Saturday, July 24th, and Sunday, July 25th. Also, Mr. Hernandez has filed application for sound amplification for outdoor public entertainment by the Corporation Haga, doing business as Olay Restaurant. This is a sound system for band. Emily Quillones?
Come up to the mic, please.
Emily Quillones of the Under Impact Pub and Lounge, Lowell Folk Festival weekend for an enclosed outdoor area at Palmer Street, the corner of Merrimack, Friday, July 23rd, Saturday, July 24th, and Sunday, July 25th. The application is for sound amplification for outdoor public entertainment for the Under Impact Pub and Lounge, for sound system for disc jockey.
We can go back to it. We'll go back to it. We'll do this first. Oh, right here. This.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. We'll go back.
Let's go back to it.
Sorry. Introduce yourself for the record, please.
Jeffrey Hernandez, manager for Olay Restaurant and Tapas Bar, Lowell, Mass.
Okay?
Emily Quinones, manager at the Under Impact Pub and Lounge.
Okay? One day. We had any problems with either one of these, Captain Webb?
No, in the past, there's been problems with the under impact, but since our last round of hearings with them a year and a half ago, there haven't been any problems.
Good enough.
And you guys have done this in the past, correct?
Last year
Both.
was our first year.
Your
This
first
will be
year?
your first year?
No, they've both done it.
Oh,
They've both done it, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it. The sound system, be aware of the sound system. You're in downtown Lowell. You've got to understand the folk festival takes precedent. Should the police or somebody from the festival comes over and says, turn off the music, turn off the music. Don't say, well, who are you and what right do you have to do, blah, blah, blah. Turn off the music, because the festival has precedent over everything. If you walk, I don't know how to make people understand this, but if you walk 4 blocks away and you can still hear your music, something's wrong. it's a little too loud. Turn it down. There are going to be plenty other places in downtown Lowell playing music, so you've got to kind of respect them, and they've got to respect you. Won't make any sense for everybody to be blasting away full blast, interfering with each other. It just won't have a good effect. Okay? Any questions?
Guys, just make sure, this is for beer and wine license also. Make sure that you always say, have the police on 911.
Right.
And two,
Speed dial, not 911.
speed, not 911,
Right.
the Lowell Police Department.
We don't want you calling Framingham.
And then the second thing is, there are gonna be a lot more individuals out on the street on those days, so make sure you're ever vigilant on checking the identification of those people that are out there, okay? Because they're not coming into your establishment, they're just gonna be walking up to a stand, so make sure you take care of them.
And they're not going to be able to walk away. They're supposed to consume that beer in the area that you have defined as your area.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
I'll have licenses for you in the very near future. Thank you. Stepping back a little bit to the special event permit for sound amplification, Elkin Montoya. Commission will now take up applications for sound amplification. The Columbian Bicentennial Committee, Elkin Montoya is representative for Sunday, July 18th, 2010, from 12 noon to 7 p.m. This is a celebration of the Columbian culture at Lowell Heritage State Park, Samples Pavilion, and Pawtucket Boulevard. A sound system for live music and a disc jockey. Also, Middle Palmer, LLC, Adriana DeStefano is the representative for the Lowell Folk Festival 2010 for Friday, July 23rd, Saturday, July 24th, and Sunday, July 25th. A sound system for music within an enclosed area at the corner of Palmer and Middle Streets.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Adriana De Stefano with Café Paradiso.
Elkin Montoya from the Colombian Bicentennial Committee.
Okay? You going to 7 o'clock, Elkin?
Yes, sir.
And how late are you going, Adrian?
Until midnight, I believe.
Huh?
Until midnight.
Until midnight? Okay. I can't see any, huh?
It's folk festival.
It's a folk festival weekend. I can't see really any problem with it. Again, you want to be aware of the fact that, they have the ultimate say. We grant you this license, make sure that that, if it can't interfere with the other and hopefully we don't need any competitions. I don't see any problem with either one of them.
I'll just add, that just a second ago, we granted outdoor amplification to a place that's about a half a block from you. So don't engage in a battle of the volumes with anybody. Common sense.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Commission will now take up the applications for a special one-day for all alcoholic beverages. Nina Puga of the Holy Ghost Society at Holy Ghost Park, 65 Village Street, for Saturday, July 10, 2010, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's a fundraiser. Saturday, July 17th, from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight. It's the Festa de Emigrante. Sunday, July 18th, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., also the Festa de Emigrante. Saturday, July 24th, from 12 noon to 12 midnight is the Bike Run and Cancer Fundraiser, and last is Saturday, July 31st, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. is a fundraiser. Also, the Holy Ghost Society, in behalf of two events scheduled for Saturday, July 17th and Sunday, July 18th, applied for sound amplification for outdoor public entertainment. For those two dates, sound system for disc jockey and band.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Hi, I'm Nina Puga, Board Director of the Holy Ghost Society.
Okay. We received a couple of complaints about the noise. Captain Webb, did you check through the police department?
Mr. Chairman, we received 3 complaints of noise 2 weeks ago from the events at Holy Ghost Park. Any information I have on them is very well summed up in Mr. Wynn's memo to you. I don't have any additional information other than that. The only thing that I was asked to pass along is perhaps the hours of midnight and 1 a.m. are a little late for a noise amplification in a residential neighborhood.
Okay.
Copy of the memo?
Huh?
Does she have a copy of the memo?
You have a copy of the memo?
I do, yes.
You do? Can you,
I actually wasn't there for this event, so I didn't even know there was complaints, but we did, after that meeting we had here that day, I don't know if you guys remember with Geronimo, he had all the information, and we went back to the Holy Ghost, and we did have a meeting, and we decided to lower down the sound and have the speakers pushed in instead of pushed out, and we thought that would help it a little bit, but I mean, apparently it didn't.
Did you use the monitor? Were you still
I
keeping?
wasn't here for that weekend.
But was the practice to use the monitor?
Yes.
As you were using it before?
Yes, we will always use the monitor.
Always using the monitor.
you have a policeman on duty?
Always, yes.
Yeah.
Every time there's a,
Okay.
And he always signs off
I mean,
on the sound
looking at
checks.
the addresses of the complaints, it's
Well,
like if you move in next to train tracks, you're gonna hear
Right.
trains. If you move in next to that facility, you're gonna hear
right.
music. I mean, 416 Douglas Road, Clark Road in Tewksbury, I mean, that's an 8-iron from your establishment, so
what's an 8-iron?
about 160 yards.
Much better golfer than I am.
That's my feeling on the complaint.
Well, I have some friends over there also, and I hadn't heard from them, and I did ask them. And they live very close to the park, much closer than these people. And I did ask them at some point, I said, please give me a call if if it got noise. I mean, if it was 12 o'clock or whatever, I would get up and go so we could talk it over at that point. It needs to be addressed at the time it happens.
Right.
Okay? It might be wise to, now, all of these, you've got 2 at 1 o'clock in the morning. One,
O'clock at night.
I'm sorry?
They were both here at 11.
No, I'm talking about with the ones we're granting. You've got 2 to midnight that are gonna run till midnight, and, can I just ask, like, what determines, the fundraiser, that's gonna be outdoors?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry, the fundraiser that you're gonna have on July 31st,
Yeah.
is that gonna be outdoors?
Outdoors, yes.
But, Mr. Chairman, you're not requesting an amplification permit.
No, the one for outside is July 17th, next weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Saturday and
excuse
Sunday.
me. All right, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Thank you. Okay. You're gonna end at 10 o'clock one night and 12 the next night, is that correct? Yeah, 12 and 10.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
Saturday
at
is
the
till
right
midnight
place.
and Sunday till
Wrong
10.
pew, right place. All right. I think the critical time is like 10 to 12, or 10, if you're having something outdoors, I think that's kind of the critical time. Okay, so I'm not going to say you have to, or, you got to do this, you got to do that. I want to make a suggestion to you, okay? By 10 o'clock, everybody's pretty much into the party, okay? They've been, if the music's loud enough, they've been kind of yelling back and forth at each other to talk, and, So I think if it died down at, say, 10 o'clock, if somebody maybe made an effort to reduce the sound, the volume, right at 10 o'clock, to drop it down a little bit maybe, and just end the last couple of hours of it on maybe a lower tone, I don't know. But maybe something like that would be beneficial. I don't think 10 o'clock is unreasonable, don't get me wrong, not at all, okay?
Right, because the complaints are coming after 10, 11, 12. So if we reduce the sound, it'd probably be less complaints.
Probably would be. I don't, no, I don't think in this, in the summer months, everybody, it's so, all the windows are open. If the windows aren't open, the air conditioners are sucking the noise in, and so that definitely tends to help magnify it. People have babies sleeping and whatnot, and they got the fans blowing if they don't have air conditioning in the house, so they're pulling the sound into the house also. I don't know, I don't want to restrict it to you, I want you to try to give it a shot. Huh? They don't?
I'll make a motion to approve those licenses.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay?
Thank you.
Give it a shot, see what happens, you never know.
Usually fans kind of like muffled noise.
Do they?
Don't you think?
Next on the agenda.
Commission will now open a hearing on a matter to do with a communication from the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle. Allegations of misconduct against the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee, Middle Palmer, Cafe Paradiso, for 45 Palmer Street. Antonetta De Stefano is the manager of record.
Come up to the mic, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Adrian De Stefano. I represent my mom, Antonietta De Stefano. She's at the cafe and she's 80 years old, so I do apologize for her not being here.
Okay.
I am the manager.
A 16 and 18-year-old,
Yes.
what happened?
It was a Friday night on the 28th. I had just stepped out, and one of my bartender, unfortunately, she never questioned it. She thought that they were older. I was made aware of it. As soon as I came back, the following day, I was very upset. I called the chief, and I apologized to him. And I expected more of my employees. The cafe has been downtown for 7 years, never had any problem. Can't tell you anything. It just happened. It's human nature. Don't know.
Yeah. This is your first offense?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Kind of a tough way to end a business.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm going to make them, I know that you've only got a couple of, what, do you got, a month left, Adriana? A month?
Yes, the cafe will be closing
Month,
down
okay.
on the 3rd.
Okay. What did you do with the person that sold the,
Immediately, I suspended her for 7 days.
okay? How many times have you had it happen in Boston?
In the 32 years that we have the license in Boston, once.
Once.
That was about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the reality is you're not alone on this. There were 7 establishments that night that made the same mistake as Tage.
I really kind of, you don't have pictures of the people that we used, do you? Do you?
Let me see them. I didn't even see them.
you want to do?
Make a motion just to put it on file.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you very much.
Yep. Boomers. Were these same people, Captain Webb, on all of these that we've got in front of us? Those three? Next on the agenda.
Commission will now open a hearing on an allegation of misconduct, a complaint from the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle, against J.J. Boomers of Lowell, Inc., DBA Boomers Restaurant, at 705 727 Pawtucket Boulevard, James C. Watson, manager.
Good afternoon. My name is James C. Watson, and I am the general manager and the manager of the liquor license of J.J. Boomers of Lowell. I have some information I'd like to distribute, if I may.
Certainly.
First, I would like to say that we have no argument with the fact that we did fail the sting. We're terribly embarrassed by it. It's not representative of our business or our staff, we don't believe. But there's no excuses. When I got involved in it, the first thing I did was to analyze how we failed. How in the world could this possibly happen to us? Because we run a better operation than that, we think. So I went back and investigated the thing internally. What I discovered was that there was one kind of very unique circumstance that night. We had been training a 3-year employee, not a 3-year-old, but an employee that had worked for us for 3 years, a young girl by the name of Kate Byron, who was a hostess and a dining room server, did a very good job. She asked us to be trained as a bartender. What we did is in November, we sent her out to get her tip certified before we allowed her to do anything, which she did. That document is in that packet. Then, while keeping her regular job as a hostess and a dining room server, we let her come in during the day shift. And she trained for approximately 15 or 20 weeks, 1 day a week. During the day, it was nice and quiet in the presence of very, very qualified, experienced bartenders. She trained on, making the drinks, the recipes, how to use we have a very interesting, sophisticated liquor control system that's computerized for pouring drinks and measuring drinks. We trained her in that. We knew she was tip certified. We trained her internally on carding and IDing people, and she did a very good job. She's a very good, excellent employee. That night, gentlemen and lady, was the very first time we allowed her to go up on what we call a regular bar shift. That was the night of the Celtics playoff. She was on the bar with 3 other qualified, experienced managers, and she waited on this couple. They approached her. There was somebody at the bar. They left. They came. They asked her to clean the bar off, which she did. They asked for 2 Bud Lights. It was the gentleman who talked. The lady never spoke. In my inquiry with her, I said, why did you not card these people? She had no real excuse. She said, I don't know, I can't explain it. I knew I should have, I knew it was my job, and it's my responsibility, but she froze, or whatever she did. She put the 2 beers up, she turned around, she looked, and a few minutes later, they were gone, and approximately 10 or 15 minutes later, the vice police came in and informed her of the violation. We accept full responsibility. I know it's my fault. I'm the liquor holder, manager. I've been on the license for 12 years. And it's the first time I've been in front of you folks for a liquor violation. Prior to that, I was the manager of record at J.J. Boomers in Drake for 10 years. Never had a problem once up there. It's not the way we operate, but what we did, we felt it started at the top down. I have taken complete control of the bar staff personally, which I hadn't been prior. I had a bar manager, a woman that had worked with me for 10 years. She has left the company, and I am now running that bar. Everybody reports to me personally or my family. We are now going through an intensive education program for all our employees, not just the bar, but all our dining room staff and everybody else. And we are making sure that everybody recognizes that they have that big responsibility. We have posted all kinds of signs all over our building. No ID, no liquor, no excuses. That's it. Don't care who you are. Don't care if you've been in my bar 150 times. That's caused some heat, but we understand that's our job, and we're going to live up to it. We're fully committed to living up to it.
Where's Caitlin?
Pardon me?
Where's Caitlin now?
She has been suspended off the bar. I didn't fire her from the building because I still believe she's a good person. She's working back as a hostess. However, my commitment to her is that after things settle down, we're going to get her more training, and I think she can become a good bartender sometime. She was not obviously ready for that Friday night. She wasn't ready. She says she made the worst mistake of her life professionally, and she feels worse about it than I'd say anybody except me, right? But what happened is our fault, and I can assure you folks it'll never happen again, to the best of my ability. Never.
Well, never say never.
Absolutely.
We
That's our commitment. Yeah.
We understand, never say
Thank
never, because we understand we're all human. People do make mistakes. I read her statement here, and the best part of the statement, is she takes responsibility, and she's, says that, it was her first night. She was a bit excited about being able to, and I think anybody with reason can understand that. I read your statement and your thing. I would like to ask you just a couple of brief questions. In here, you say that your doorman checks IDs and then stamps their wrist
Correct.
before they go in.
That's correct.
How did the people get past your doorman?
That was one of the big concerns I had.
That to me would be the key.
What I believe I discovered, and I can only go by what my employees report back to me, upon examining the timeline that's on all the various reports and testimonies, there's a little bit of confusion. When they came through the door, when they got served, and when the vice police came in later. To the best of my ability, I believe they entered that door a little bit before 9 o'clock. That's my belief, all right? The door people go on at 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
but that doesn't eliminate the responsibility of the bartenders.
No, I know it doesn't, but if I may make a suggestion to you, just
Certainly.
from experience with other bars, you're giving your employees a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Because the woman or the person that's behind the bar
Yes.
feels that these people have been checked. They still have the responsibility, but they're not on their toes as if they weren't checked. You follow me? This is one of the reasons why we told people to get away from this under 21 night where they put on the wristlet or the bracelet, because they go out in the bathroom, they take the bracelet off, put it on the other guy, and he's got it made, and it gives a false sense of security. Everybody needs to know that it's not just the person you're serving. The person you're serving might be 21, might be somebody's father, might be somebody's brother. So I'm going to buy a drink, and then, when the waitress leaves and goes off, give the drink to my minor, sister or brother. And let me just say one other thing. I've been to your restaurant, and I've been by there. You have some wonderful people working over there, okay? I mean, I have, my wife and I went to lunch there, and there were beer bottles out in the parking lot, where obviously people pull in and have a few beers before they go in the door. And, I said something to one of the people, and, they went out there and cleaned it all up and everything, and I thought that was wonderful that they were that cooperative. It's a lesson. The police chief's not out here to shut you down. We're not out here trying to put people out of business. God knows we need as many business people as we possibly can afford to keep going, and so we're not out there to do that. But every once in a while, you need something to wake you up. It's hard to make people understand. Most of the time, the people that come into us that have problems with drugs and serving minors are people who got too friendly with their customers. The guy comes in every night, or the woman, and I used to get amazed at that. In my other life, I was commander of an American Legion, and I used to find it fascinating that every single day, the same, yeah, you could set your watch. 4 o'clock, that guy would come through the door, you know? And haven't you got anything else in life to do? You know, I mean, I don't know. But the thing is that once they start to do that, they, you know, you say, oh, there's Charlie, he drinks Pabst Blue Ribbon. You know, they gave him a beer on the table. I mean, it was just, that's the way it was, because they got on a first name basis. And in your situation, just reading this and reading what she wrote, what Caitlin wrote, I could see where if I was working in a place that had a doorman whose responsibility was to check IDs, I might not be as aggressive as I should be, okay? I understand it. I know that it's your first violation. What would you like to do?
I'm going to say, look, the guidance we get from Boston is that these sting operations are supposed to be educational, not punitive. I'm convinced that any educational value that was supposed to come out of it has been reached. You haven't been in front of us in, well, this is it, in 12 years.
12 years.
I'll make a motion to put it on file.
Motion made?
Second.
Seconded, all in,
Seconded.
seconded, all in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
Commission will now take the matter to do with the complaint from the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle, against the packaged goods store licensee Shriek Investments, Inc., doing business as Manning Liquors at 427 Bridge Street. Jignesh C. Patel is the manager of record.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Commissioners, Mr. Nguyen. My name is Attorney Peter Nicosia on behalf of the license holder. With me is Jignesh Patel, who's the listed manager on the license.
Okay. Have you read the complaint?
We have, and we're prepared to stipulate to the violation itself.
Okay.
But if we may be heard in terms of the ramifications of the violation, I'd be pleased to give some information on that.
You may be heard.
Okay.
Give us your side.
Well, it's a similar circumstance where obviously an operative got sent in and a compliance check, and the systems that were supposed to be in place failed for this particular business. They've owned this business now for approximately 2 years. It's the first time they've been in front of the commission. And it's as simple as the store clerk not obviously carding the individual that came in, having made a judgment based upon appearance as opposed to license ID. The prevailing policy in the store is to ID check regardless of appearance, regardless of acquaintance, and that policy has been reinforced since that time, that it is a no identification, no sale policy in this establishment. Since that time, the person that was at the register on that particular day has been removed from those duties, and the entire store personnel is going through a tips re-education process to sort of obviously refresh their memories on liquor law compliance. And, you know, they recognize that the license is a privilege, not a right, and they have responsibilities with that, and their systems failed on this particular time. So the manager's here to accept responsibility for that, has acknowledged that there has to be some remedial action put in place, and in this case, it's removal of the individual, along with a re-education, and along with a reinforced no ID, no sale, regardless of age, appearance, or acquaintance going forward. And unfortunately, it's as simple as that, and we hope never to be here again.
Well, let's hope not. You know, a liquor store is held to a higher standard than a restaurant. You only have one thing to worry about. You don't have to worry about the food and how it's fixed and getting and running back and forth and waiting on the people and the rest of the nonsense that goes along with that. I've always said I think I'd collect big cans before I'd become a waitress. But that being said, liquor stores are held, in my estimation, to a higher standard because that is their sole source of income.
One
Sole.
factor I forgot to mention is that this particular employee had suffered, and it's not an excuse, but it's more of a explanation for why the person's head wasn't on straight in that particular day. It suffered a very significant personal tragedy, I believe, was it the day before? The week before. And for all intents and purposes, perhaps that person shouldn't have been at the register for some time period. And I think that was a major contribution to their lapse in judgment.
Okay.
They've never been in front of us before, but, you know, you gotta make sure that you're re-educating your employees. And, you know, Bridge Street's a main thoroughfare in the city, so you're gonna get a lot of people that just pop in your store. So you gotta make sure that you ID everyone, because if it gets out that you can buy underage, you're gonna have a whole slew of people, all right? So I'll make a motion to put it on file.
Motion to put it on file.
I'll second.
No, you gotta,
No?
no, I don't think so. I think we should go for it. 2 days and hold it in suspension. You know, it's a liquor store. It's not a restaurant. It's an entirely different type of operation. So, I mean, if you want, I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? No.
I'll go no. I'll second, if you're gonna make your motion.
I
I'll
want to
second.
make, I'm making a motion, 2 days suspended sentence and held in abeyance for the rest of the year. And suspended.
Commissioner Occasion's motion is without a second?
Without a second. It is?
Well, it was seconded.
Oh, it was-
Seconded, but failed 2-1.
Okay, so the vote is, Commissioner Bayless, you voted no?
On,
Yeah.
yep,
And I
Commissioner
voted no.
Weicker voted no?
yep.
Commissioner Occasion?
I voted yes.
So, okay. So your motion fails for
Yes.
lack of a
I
majority.
understand.
Okay.
So there's another motion?
Another motion that he, 2 days
No motion.
suspended for the rest of the year.
2 days
Just have it on
2 days
record.
suspension?
Yep, suspended
Suspended? That's it?
December 31st.
till December 31st.
Probation till the end of the calendar year?
Yep, just so we have something on record. Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Second?
All in favor, say yes.
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 No.
Okay.
You got-
Okay, we thank you for your time.
You got your license, okay? That's your sole obligation in life, okay? I can appreciate what Commissioner Occasion said, but I don't believe in that. I believe this is your sole obligation, is to keep that. So, you know, they have machines today. There's a million ways you can check IDs, okay? Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
PNC Liquors. PNC Liquors, who's that?
Bridge Street also.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Couple of blocks away.
Is that another? Oh, well.
Commissioner, now open a hearing on the complaint from the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle, against the all-alcoholic packaged goods store licensee PNC Liquors, Inc., DBA Conlon's Liquors, at 12 Bridge Street, Cesar P. Correa, manager of record.
Introduce yourself for the record, please.
My name is Cesar P. Correa, co-owner and manager of PNC Liquors, DBA Conlon's Liquors.
Okay. Have you read the complaint?
Yes, sir.
Do you acknowledge it, or do you want it read into the record?
Yes, sir. I take full responsibility for the event, simply for the fact that I had been in the store since open to close 7 days a week, and there was a group of people in the store, and I needed to use the restroom. And my best friend was in the location with me. Instead of me kicking out all 6 people that were in the store, I asked him if he could cover for me for 5 minutes to use the restroom. As I came back from the restroom, as I'm walking out through my back room, I saw the gentleman walking out the door with a 6-pack of Miller Lite. And that at that moment in time, I was like, did you check everybody else's ID? He's like, yes. I was like, what about that gentleman that just walked the door? He's like, I don't recall. So at that moment in time, I walked out straight to my back door, and that's when I saw the gentleman walking into the SUV with the 2 gentlemen in front in the front seat. So I already had an inkling of exactly what might have happened. That's the reason why to this day, the 2.5 years I've been there, I have not had an employee simply because I take full responsibility for that establishment. I don't want to have dependent on anybody else for my business, for me and my family. And the same factor is with the ICC building with UMass Lowell, with all the college kids from out of state. The one policy that we have at my store is if you're out of state, you have to prove a second proof of identification, whether it's a passport, a debit card, a credit card, or anything like that.
Did you say a debit card?
Well, anything with a name, because nowadays what the younger crowds are doing are having IDs made, but debit cards have the person's name to match the ID. If not, if you ask for somebody for a second proof of identification, if you think the ID is faulty, they'll tell you, no, all right, have a great night, and they leave. It's crazy nowadays what the kids
Oh,
are.
okay, but you are getting like a driver's license or
Yeah,
something.
no, yes, sir, the driver's license,
Oh,
but I'm just
sorry,
talking about how
misunderstood you. I was gonna say,
out of state.
on your
because
bank
it-
account, see what it.
No, because the UMass Lowell, the new
No,
conference
no,
center
good
has all
idea.
kids from out of states, Michigan, Texas, California, a lot of
Did
them.
you go over to the policeman? You know, let me ask you a question, okay? So you saw the fellow going out of the store,
Yes, sir.
and you had a feeling that this was what it was.
Yes, sir.
And you saw him walk over to an SUV?
And right at the moment in time, as soon as I saw the
Go over and
SUV,
see them? Did you walk right over there?
but they already had taken the turn.
What do you mean?
By the time I walked out the back door, they already
He
had.
was in the car?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought he walked over and you were standing there while he was walking
No, sir.
over. Okay.
He walked out the front door and took a left. I walked out back through my back room and went out the back door
Yeah.
to check. The officer actually saw me at the back door.
Okay. You know, being there 7 days a week, are you open 7 days?
7 days a week.
Days a week.
I put in 96
That's
hours
as bad
a
as
week.
owning a funeral home, you know that?
Well, a lot of people actually, every time they come in, they'll be like, oh, how was your good night's sleep in their back room? Because I'm there all the time. All the time. Even the local enforcement come in once in a while just to check in on me because they know I'm there by myself majority of the time. All the time.
You married?
No, sir.
Well, you better not get married either.
Honestly, honest to God, that's the reason why I'm in this. It's not a game. I'm setting up my future.
You know, okay, you know, I can appreciate it, and it sounds like a legitimate reason. And as Commissioner Weicker said, it's an educational tool. It's being done not to harass you. It's not being done, you know, thank God that it was only a six-pack, and I don't mean to make light of it, please.
Yes, sir.
But thank God it was a six-pack of beer, and it was a test. And, you know, because that might stop the next one from coming in, getting a quart of VO or something, and wrapping themselves around a telephone pole.
Yes, sir.
Or worse than that, killing somebody else. So, you know, you need to, and Commissioner Cajun put it very well. You know, once that one, you know, these people that, people that assisted the police department, they're not gonna go out and tell anybody.
Correct.
But if that was a high school kid and he got in there and got out,
They
I
would
can
travel
guarantee
fast.
everybody else would know about it.
Yes, sir.
I know just how to do it. You know, sit outside the door, wait till you see this guy leave there'll be another guy, he won't check, and you think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Oh, I believe it because that store has had a
They
reputation
are
for that.
unbelievable when it comes to it, okay? And again, just as the fellow before you, you know, that's your primary business. That's your primary business. You lose that, you lose everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to make a motion for 2 days, suspension, suspend it for the rest of the year.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
No.
No. Okay,
All set?
yep.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Excuse me? Brian, do you send him a report, the finding?
Letter, right?
A letter? Yeah. Do they have the right to appeal that? Even though it's a suspended? Yeah. I thought the only one they... Okay.
Commission will now open a hearing on a complaint from the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle, against the following licensee for, I have it on the agenda as an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee, but in fact, it's not quite. It's a malt beverage and wine packaged goods store licensee. Sorry for that. It's Lucky Bee Inc., doing business as Pete's Exxon, 185 Woburn Street. Peter Zoglu Senior, but you're junior,
I'm Junior, yes.
is the manager of record. So Junior is filling in for his father.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Peter Voyatsoglu?
Have you read the complaint, Peter?
I have.
Were you there?
I was not there that night.
You were not there. Who was there?
An employee named Richard.
I'm sorry?
His name was Richard.
Yeah? What's his excuse?
There's no excuse for what he did, absolutely, no excuse, you know, he
And
wasn't
where
doing
is
his
Richard
job.
today?
What's that?
Where is Richard today?
He actually is here with me,
This is Richard?
yes.
Okay.
You know,
What's the policy in the store?
Policy in the store is to card everybody.
Card everybody.
Yes, sir.
Do you get a second ID?
Not typically, no.
Not usually. Maybe you ought to. That was a pretty good idea that young guy had. You know, they can reproduce a driver's license. It's unbelievable what these people with computers can do. I mean, I've still got messages by chip and stone, but some of them have all this electronic stuff, you know? And they can really do a job on you, and they can tear you up. You know, this is one of those situations that I've been fearful of, and I'll tell you why. Okay? You've got you know, and you've done a wonderful job with that place. I don't want to, you know, I've been out there, I've driven around, the way you planted the shrubs and fixed it all up. It really, really, really is a showcase, and it looks nice. But you know, I've been one that has sat here and said we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be giving beer and wine licenses to people when we got full-fledged package stores, because I do believe a package store should be held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I believe that right now they're having a war in Chelmsford about, you know, giving out beer and wine licenses. And I hope that, and I'm going to say it right up front, I hope that the city councilmen or whatever they are stand their ground and have the nerve to stand up to it, because it's only the people that are lazy that want every corner to have beer and wine. Oh, I want convenience. You know, well, you got enough convenience if you've got 6 package stores in the corner, okay? And the problem is that if you lose your license, you're going to still make a living. So you go to a different standard, because if one of those that was a full-time liquor store loses his license, he's done. He has no income, period. End of statement. So, you know, you're running a gas station, you're running a mini mart, you're running a Dunkin' Donuts store. You got a lot of balls up in the air, and you're trying to keep everything going. You know, you got to have people that, look, you know, it's not worth the sale of a 6-pack of beer.
Oh, yeah,
It's just that simple. It's not. If you have any doubt whatsoever, hey, I'm sorry, give me, you know, leave your firstborn child. And we'll go from there, you know?
Yeah, I
It
revised
just-
my store policy that makes it a little bit stricter on them as well.
Are you tips trained? Have you ever attended a tips course?
No, sir. No, I haven't.
Well, you know,
I'm
it's
looking
a
into.
tiny investment. There's a place right in, I think it's Bill Ricker has a bartending school, you know, and it gives out a tips course. And it's worth the investment. It probably sounds stupid to a lot of people, but you would be amazed at the things that you can learn to be able to read into people when they walk in your store. And these kids are so smart today, it's absolutely unbelievable, okay? So you need to, you know, and again, it's as I said to the others, all you got to do is have one youngster go in that store and buy.
Yep.
And he's going to say, you got to go there and watch for the guy with the full beard and the little goatee and the mustache, and he wears glasses, okay? And you send Harry over to get something so he's watching. You can get right, boom, 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 and it's just like an orchestrated play. Boom, boom, boom. They're in and out, and you're in trouble, okay?
Yes, sir.
What's your pleasure?
You know what my pleasure is. You guys can make the motion.
I'll make the motion for the same 2 days suspended for the balance of the year.
Seconded. All in favor, say yes. Yes.
No.
No. Okay, you'll get a letter. Yep. These people,
Police officers.
they were involved in this? Are you kidding me?
Everybody admitted to it.
It's overtime pay.
Everybody admitted to it.
They clocked
To
out
come
on
to an end to this regular meeting of the License Commission, I just want to point out to the board on the agenda, we have an application for a wine, malt, beverages and wine only packaged goods store license for premises at 102 University Avenue. The attorney filing the application on behalf of the entity is Attorney Phil Nyman, and the applicant is JAI Jai Laxmi, Laxmi, LLC, doing business as University Convenience Store. Meghana Patel is the manager. And this is for premises at 102 University Ave, and it's for malt beverages and wine only, packaged goods store license. Proceeded to file an request to the Lowell Sun for a publication of a legal notice for tomorrow's paper for a hearing on July the 22nd. I've already conducted the query on the principals involved and no finding.
I'll make a motion to schedule it for the hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say yes.
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 And just for communications, in anticipation of our next regular meeting, which is this coming Monday, July 12th at 3 p.m., two of the applicants, two matters pertaining to the two of the 6 applicants have recently come to light in the past week, and you have copies of the communication. Something for you to consider. Monday afternoons.
Are those the only two?
Yes, I'm assuming the other applicants have all proceeded with their notifications.
Sounds like you're gonna have a very busy, when do they have to get all those into you?
Well, I have to follow up with them tomorrow, I assume.
You have like it's on,
It's Monday.
the meeting's on Monday, right?
Monday the 12th, yeah, this Monday.
Monday the
So
12th.
hopefully you've got like a basket full of green cards.
I have nothing yet,
by
but
mailings in.
the interesting thing with the applicants is that the average is 1 or 2 abutters. The exception being the Dubliner has 29.
So that,
Because
but
of the,
they're not gonna do this.
He's looking
I can
to
explain
waive it.
this, I can explain it to you now, or I can wait till Monday when our weather is supposedly
you can
forecast is gonna be a lot
explain
better.
I just had one, I know we want to get out of here because it's hot.
Nah.
I just had one quick question. The Kilkenny pub, did they determine whether they were going to appeal or?
They're going to appeal that
okay.
decision, and tomorrow I'm gonna do that letter of decision.
Okay.
Once the attorney receives it, I'll fax it to his office. He can proceed to file his request for a hearing with the ABCC, and at which point the stay will take effect.
That's fine.
Which is scheduled 3-day suspension to take effect the weekend of the folk festival,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 23rd, 24th, 25th, or 20,
That's it, 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Jack, you have anything?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No? You got anything?
Do I? No,
No.
I'm good.
You have anything?
Oh, God, no.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We're coming home, Benjamin.